Hey, you're on the Bible Forum. It's Sunday, January 21, 2018. Have you ever heard about a war without soldiers? We see them in the movies, on television. We think about machines, don't we? Well, what do you know about human-machine teaming? Most of what we've seen is either in factories or in the army, but there's a larger and more energetic application coming. The stage is being set for a future of human-machine teaming, but the author of this particular report doesn't believe machines will be taking over. He says this is not a technological solution to a technological problem. It's an operational solution to an operational problem. Originally called the Algorithmic Warfare Cross-Functional Team, when it was approved for funding back in April of 2017, Project Maven has moved quickly, and many in the Pentagon think we'll see more AI projects in the pipeline as the United States continues to compete with Russia and China for AI dominance. The team employed to nurture this project used thousands of hours of archived Middle East drone bombing footage to train the AI to effectively differentiate between humans and inanimate objects, and on a more granular level to differentiate between types of objects. In this project, the AI was paired with something called Minotaur. It's a Navy and Marine Corps, what they call a correlation and georegistration application. And they tell us, quote, once you deploy it to a real location, it's flying against a different environment than it was trained on, end of quote. However, it still works, explaining how the terrain may be different, look different, with animals running around and so forth, and making it critical in the first 5 days of a real-world deployment to optimize and refine the algorithm so that it can be used. Right now, Project Maven is intended to give military analysts more of a situational awareness on the battlefield. But one day we could see an autonomous drone, a series of them, controlled by even more powerful AI algorithms, given total control of the battlefield. Is that possible? Well, I would be guessing, but yes! The author of this piece wants to embed AI into military systems and operations across the board, and he's not alone in calling for the near ubiquity of AI adoption. A recent report from the Harvard Belfer Center of Science and International Affairs makes the case that we will see a dramatic overhaul of militaries across the world as they implement AI technology in the next 5 years. The report argues that the use of robotic and autonomous systems in both warfare and in commercial sector is poised to increase dramatically. Initially, they say, technological progress will deliver the greatest advantages to large, well-funded, and technologically sophisticated militaries, just as unmanned aerial vehicles, unmanned ground vehicles did in the U.S. military operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. As prices fall, states with budget-constrained and less technologically advanced militaries will adapt the technology, as will non-state actors. Researchers say that rogue terror groups are just as keen to utilize the powerful technology. Currently, according to a report, quote, ISIS is making noteworthy use of remotely controlled aerial drones in its military operations, end of quote. In the future, they or other terrorist groups will likely make increasing use of autonomous vehicles. While all this is going on, The geopolitical fallout of AI proliferation continues to be a major issue with regard to the world's three major superpowers, the United States, China, and Russia. It has been termed a Sputnik moment. Now, for you young people, Sputnik was the first thing anybody put into space, to orbit. Russia did that back in the 1950s. Military officials, including former Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel in 2014, have said that the AI arms race is known as, quote, the third offset strategy, end of quote, and is the next generation of warfare. Should humans worry about handing over the reins of war machine to a war machine? Well, everybody up and down the chain does. But it has never stopped anyone before. I say look for people, especially in Western countries, to get used to all this technology, from the cryptocurrencies to digital algorithms tattooed on your hand or your head to replace the credit cards and the fobs. It's called progress. And a 2,000-year-old book explains it all. That book is called the Bible.